Yo guys, welcome back to another video, and as you can see by the score, we did manage to get 2-3 what? 2-3, I mean 2-8-2-3. And this is the team I am running, so let me just get you into the team setup and what I am running. So let's go. So let's just replace a random team like this. Yeah, let me save it here. Okay, so let me open the little drop down, and as you can see, we are running Frozen Admiral on pretty much everyone except for our Sanjinwu and our Eins. For Eins, you want to run Marvel's Memoria. For Uma, you can also run King of Beast, the Beast King if you want. Or you can even run Trunks' Memoria, so either one works. And then mainly for your Luffy, because he is your main DPS, you need to run a Frozen Admiral on him. Because I would run his own Memoria, but you have to understand that since it is immunity, he's not really benefiting from two of the passives. The only passive he's really benefiting from is the second passive, and I'd rather have that 30% pure damage amp just straight up, so that's why I'm running Frozen Admiral. And the same goes for pretty much all the other units. So Uma as well, I got 30%, pretty much 30% amp on her, plus I got Deadeye on the Frozen Admiral, so it allows us to do a bit more crit damage as well. But yeah, pretty much these are the Memorias wise, and Familiars wise, these are my Familiars, so Uma I'm running this, Irons I am running this, C2 Doctor for our Albedo, then for Luffy I'm running this, and then C1 Doctor for our Whitebeard. You can swap them between Albedo and Whitebeard, so you can run the C1 here, C1 2, C1 here, or C2 here, and then C1. And then this bird right here on my Sanjamu. Ideally, you want to get as high damage as you can with low range, because if you guys do know, if he hits enemies, he's going to be losing meter because it is depleted. And then crit chance and the crit damage you want high as well. So my ones are not the best, so you can easily get way more kills, but it is what it is. And then for Ichigo, I am running this because he has a caloric stone unit. So I'm pretty much just running his Memoria, plus the burb right here that I am using on him is this one right here. So that's pretty much it for the team sub. Let's just get into the actual run. So good luck with your early runs. Alright guys, so pretty much this tournament, I would say it's alright. Is it better than the last one? Nah, the last one is a lot more brain dead and a lot more easier. This one is not too bad, but it's just I hate the split paths because it messes up with your summons and there's not much you can do. If only there was no immunity this strat. I mean this tournament, it would have been such a fun tournament with Luffy. But there is immunity, so yeah, Luffy's getting kind of cooked over and there's not much we can do about it. But pretty much as you can see, what I am doing is placing irons, making sure I can use the spells. Because with the irons, you want to make sure Albedo is down first. Albedo needs to be in his range so he can get those spells off. And yeah, so we're getting one Albedo next to our Luffy and then one Albedo next to our Uma. And yeah, what's frustrating is that the split path makes it so the summons just don't go to the left, whether that be Vanguard Sanjaru summons, or even Ainz' summons, or even Uma herself. They just don't go to the left path, which is kind of annoying. So there's one side of enemies that are just super weak, and then the other side of enemies that are just strong, and it just messes up your whole run. And one thing I didn't do here, which I should have done, is, if you guys remember what I usually do, make sure you get your third Vanguard Sanjaru to spawn bear 10 times and then sell that Vanguard Sanjaru so you can get the extra 50% damage. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about if you guys do know. If you guys don't, it's fine because you can still get a high score even without that. So yeah, all my units are placed right now. You can see we got Vanguard Sundries, 2 at the back, 1 in the middle, so you can summon on this left lane. Um, 3 white bids, of course, at the front because they are nullifying the enemies. Then 3 albedos at the front as well because they're applying affection to our necessary units, that being Ainz, Uma, and Luffy. And they're also there for Rupture, so you want to make sure they're set to last. And what we're going to be doing for Luffy is making sure we're going down to Cog 4 and making sure he has that 5% cost reduction from Ainz's Aura of the Overlord. Once he does have that, we can easily just upgrade him and alternate between the 2 forms. So we're going to be only upgrading him whilst he's in Cog 4, just to make sure we can get the discount towards our white bids, plus also giving himself like that slight cost reduction as well. And yeah, pretty much the first boss and the second boss are not hard at all. The third boss is where it gets slightly difficult, so you have to be on the lookout for that one. And yeah, the reason why Luffy's placed in a way where he's just placed quite far forward is so he can apply wanted, because as you guys do know, if there is a debuff on an enemy, he can remove that debuff and apply wanted. That's the only way he's going to be applying wanted because he can't repulse. So yeah, that's what he's pretty much going to be doing. So we're having all our units at the front so they can apply the debuffs, just so he can remove those debuffs into wanted. And yeah, I'm not really speaking much because right now it's just pretty self-explanatory. You're getting your irons auto-upgraded once your Luffy is maxed, and you just keep doing your Uma stats. There's not much to it. The upgrade order follows Luffy into Ainz into white bits to like full AoE, and then you get your Uma up, and then you get your Albedo up, and then you get your Vanguard Sanjurus up. But I do get one Vanguard Sanjuru up to upgrade 10 in between. That's the one on the left, who's placed in the little building. And yeah, the next boss that does spawn has 400 million, so he's still pretty easy. You don't have to worry about him. All the summons will do with him, so you can just ignore him pretty much. And now you see what I mean, that left path that is isolated from the summons, the enemies that do get to that path are just so strong. Because there's nothing really hitting them, so that's why I have that one Vanguard Sanjuru there. But he's not really doing much because when you get to a certain upgrade, I think his summons mess up and go to the other path, which is kind of frustrating. But yeah, at this point, at wave 26, we max out Uma. And then we put money into our Albedo. Because we want to get that one Albedo upgraded so she can pretty much hit the enemies at base. Because we're going to be applying Rupture early, so they're not really regenning any health. And yeah, this is where it gets slightly difficult because at this point the enemies are just leaking non-stop. You can't really do much about it because the enemies are just strong. And yeah, you can see we're gonna get him to upgrade 10, not any more past that. And ideally you still want him to summon on that same lane. If you see his summons mess up and go to the other lane, you can just easily replace him to the back afterwards. And I kinda messed up with my Uma, make sure that she's always in great mood. I kinda forgot and got her to good mood. So that's the one thing that messed up in the strat as well. My Uma timing was pretty much off. If it was up earlier, it would have been a lot better because there would have been more damage, of course, to the enemies. So at this point, all I'm making sure is that I do my Uma correctly, and in between here and there, I do switch between the Luffy forms. So after I do my Uma stats, I go into the transformation, and I utilize the transformation to deal with the leaks. So find Luffy, and after I'll first get these upgrades in. So I want to get the Vanguard Sundries to a certain point. Ideally, you want to upgrade 10 for all your Vanguard Sundries. That's the main point, and you can see I'm just going into the Luffy form just to apply damage to them. So using any move I can. E to E ideally is for meter, but since the enemies do have depleted on them, we're pretty much not really gaining meter. So what we're gonna do is just keep attacking them, making sure they die, using all your abilities. And then quickly untransform, use your Uma stats, and then go back into the form once you can. And what you want to do is get your Ichigo down as well. I forgot to do it earlier. If you can do it way earlier, place them at the base, and then yeah, you just let the enemies get pulled back to that point. And now you just keep doing your Uma stats, getting your Vanguard Sundries upgraded. Ideally, it should be up at wave 37. If not, then it should be at wave 38, latest. I think mine is at wave 38 or wave 39 this run. And there's a bit of RNG with this. Sometimes the boss can go down the left path instead of the right path. So you want it to go down to, of course, the path that the summons are on. And yeah, as you can see, this is a wave 39 Uma, so there's a lot of room for improvement in this strat. And I did try 3 runs after this, but I kind of just made mistakes and flopped. So I use Luffy's Sun God Thunder Nuke, and then I transform back into his form. And then I don't know where I was here, I got lost. But yeah, here I'm just gonna be attacking the boss from here until the end. Since we have Uma maxed out and she's gonna be just blitzing the path, you can easily just get as much damage as you can onto these leaks and onto Kaido. That's all that matters, to be honest. And by doing this, you're able to kill Kaido. So you want to use all your moves, even the E, but it's just to get as much damage as you can on these leaks. So and here at this point, if he's not gonna die, you wanna untransform and quickly use the 300% nuke that hits full map. Like this. And you can see, he did die off from that, and then you got a few summons from there as well, and they also deal with these guys as well. And then at that point, you're just gonna be close to dying, and that's pretty much it for the run. So if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.